Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about all of these Season 3 leaks. There was very clearly a playtest recently, and like clockwork, every single thing has leaked onto social media, Reddit, Billy, whatever have you. I'm sure you guys know what leaks I'm talking about. But what is interesting is what these leaks potentially reveal. Obviously, there's been a ton of conversation surrounding Galmud Railway coming back to Battlefield. It's, well, I've made it very clear I'm not very excited for this map to come back, but these leaks may suggest it's not going to be as bad as we initially thought. In fact, there's even potential that DICE surprises us with Galmud Railway. But it's not just Galmud Railway we have to talk about. The leaks also suggested there have been RPG nerfs, and the M16 isn't as simple as we thought. Obviously, we can only gather so much from the very few leaks that have been out there, but from the few things we have seen, does this mean DICE is actually potentially listening to us? Let's talk about it. So, if you enjoy the channel, be sure to hit the sub button. Only 50% of people that watch the channel are actually subscribed, so do me a favor and check if you're subbed, and also hit the like button. That helps the channel out greatly as well. So, seeing as I'm discussing leaks in this video, we have to take everything with a grain of salt. Obviously, that's how you have to approach these sort of things. But the leaks in question showed gameplay of Galmud Railway, and it is no secret that the addition of Galmud Railway to Battlefield 6 has been quite a controversial addition. A lot of people seem to like it, but just as many people seem to despise it because they remember how it played in Battlefield 4 and they're just not fond of the map at all. And who can really blame them? It isn't exactly the greatest map, even in its best iteration. Like, if DICE vastly improves it, I still don't think it's going to be, like, the greatest map ever added to Battlefield 6. But from the leaks, it looks as though DICE has done just that. It looks like they have gone and improved Galmud Railway. From the gameplay that I saw, it looks as though the northern part of the map has undergone a really large facelift when it comes to the buildings and the layout. It's still that sort of memorable city area, but it seems to me like there are just more buildings in that area, and it's just a completely different layout with a more, I don't know, maybe like open street. But the biggest thing that stood out to me while watching the gameplay was the fact that it just looks like there was a lot more cover in between flag areas. I vividly remember playing Battlefield 4's version of Galmud Railway, and there were just certain areas of the map that you just never wanted to be as an infantry player. And these areas were located in between flags as well. Like, I vividly remember there being multiple different fields in between sort of the ABC area up in the northern area of the map, which was supposed to be the more infantry-heavy side of the map anyway, but it didn't feel like that. Now, fast forward to the new version of Galmud in the leaks, and it looks like it's going to be a lot friendlier to move around on, without necessarily sacrificing the spirit of Galmud Railway. And yes, people are going to comment, well, they shrunk the map, but, well, you know, my opinion on that is the areas they shrunk literally just don't matter, even for vehicle gameplay. And I want to make this point. Some people were saying the areas they shrunk on the new Galmud matter because of vehicle gameplay, and I totally understand that, but there is a distinction between playable vehicle area and the map itself, right? Like, aircraft have more space to play in than what is actually defined on the ground level. And I did manage to see some tank gameplay on the new Galmud, and from what I can tell, the tanks really didn't seem to have any issue rotating around the map like they used to in the old version. Now, in terms of game modes, I did see a game of Escalation on Galmud, which strikes me as really interesting because Escalation, as you guys know, is the game mode that essentially takes flags away as the game goes on, shrinking the playable area, concentrating action. I think Escalation on Galmud may prove to be one of the better experiences available in Battlefield 6. Because at the end of these Escalation games, I imagine you're going to be playing mostly in the infantry-centric areas, but there will still be quite a bit of area available surrounding the play zone for vehicles to mull around in, like the fields and the airspace and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, we all have yet to get our hands on the actual map to play it, but from what I've seen, I don't want to sound alarms on Galmud Railway as heavily as I was sounding them before. Maybe we'll be actually pleasantly surprised with Galmud when it releases. The next thing I want to talk about is a potential RPG nerf, and the nerf that I thought I saw during the gameplay was the fact the RPG appeared to me at least to be slower in velocity. And that's really great because the RPG in its current state is just way too easy to hit. The thing travels so quickly that it trivializes hitting shots even on aircraft within a certain distance. In general, one of the largest problem areas in Battlefield 6 historically has been the vehicle versus vehicle and infantry versus vehicle balance. And if they are going to start to take steps in the right direction when it comes to making the vehicle gameplay more balanced in all directions, then I am all for it. Obviously, the RPG nerf, if it is going to happen, isn't the only thing they're going to have to do to the vehicles. It is well known that a lot of the aircraft just sort of move extremely strangely in Battlefield 6. They're kind of floaty, very unresponsive, and that makes them easier to hit in and of itself. So the takeaway there isn't just a single solution to solve the issues with Battlefield 6's vehicle gameplay. It is unfortunately going to take a lot of smaller issues across multiple areas. And the last thing I want to talk about has to do with the new weapon that will be added eventually to Battlefield 6 that has already been leaked. It is the M16A3, or it might be the M16A4. It is speculated to be an A4 variant, which means it will be burst fire, but in multiple different leaks that I've seen, the M16 was actually full auto, and in other leaks, it was burst fire. So this leads me to believe you can either just, roll through all the select fires and it doesn't really matter that much. You can choose to use it in burst. You can choose to use it in full auto. Or maybe there's some sort of thing you can equip on it that makes it full auto. I'm not really sure why they would do that, because wouldn't that just be the best way to use the weapon anyway? And that would sort of defeat the purpose of adding one of the most famous burst fire rifles ever to Battlefield. But I suppose we'll just have to wait to get our hands on the M16 to actually see what happens with that weapon. I want to use the rest of this video to reiterate some things that I've spoken about on the channel many times, and it just has to do with the overall state of Battlefield 6 and I think the unfortunate reality that we are heading into. Battlefield 6 in its current state is insanely frustrating because of the combination of gameplay problems. However, they can also very easily improve the game extremely quickly if they don't keep sitting on their hands, which they've been doing for an uncomfortable amount of time now. Their communication has very heavily revolved around iterating things, listening to feedback. They just keep telling us that on social media, but maybe in the end, it may actually pay off. The fact of the matter is, developers actually do need time to fix the game, and if Season 3 is the start of them making some meaningful gameplay changes, then great. However, it's going to take longer than any of us would like it to take. And at this point in time, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that we're all just tired of the fact that we even have to wait as long as we do for the game to get into the state that we deserve it to be in on launch. They had so much time with this game anyway, and they kind of just threw away the hype they had because they wanted to try to, well, let's just face it, appeal to as many casuals as possible, which destroyed the gameplay, which caused a ton of issues, which means they have a ton of work they need to do in order to actually save the gameplay of Battlefield 6. Guys, believe it or not, sacrificing your game's gameplay in order to try to satisfy a bunch of casual players that were already excited in your game anyway isn't a good idea. All of us, including the brand new players EA was trying to capture, all just want what Battlefield was before, alright? So, I don't know who has to tell them this in the office, but my god. I wish Battlefield wasn't under the EA evil empire control, but, I mean, we just can't have anything nice, can we? That's going to do it for this video, though, guys. I really do appreciate you guys watching to this point. Type peanut butter in the comments if you did. By the way, no crunchy peanut butter, because that's fucking sacrilegious. And, yeah, we just won't accept that here. So, yeah. Hit the like button only if you like smooth peanut butter. Subscribe to the channel. And check out the second channel. All links will be in the description, and the second channel will be in the pinned comment. Been seeing a lot of you guys come over there. Been having a ton of fun making videos for that channel as well. So thank you guys so much again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.